All right, guys. Next clip, I wanted to talk about how to collect your opponent's limbs, and this is going to be important because if you are able to prevent your opponent from posting, all you really need to do to score or sweep them and dump them to the bottom is just tilt their base, their mass past their base, and then if they can't run their little legs underneath it, which the waiter pretty much precludes them from doing, your ability to get yourself on top is going to be, it's just going to be child's play. So if we come back like quick. What I would say again, I try to load Frank up onto my hip pocket, down by my belt line, not up by my chest again, which another reason for that is breathing. And it's not a huge deal with like someone Frank's size, because we're about the same size, but if Frank were big, it would really suck to have someone like that sitting on my chest. I generally want to sit you on parts of me that don't give. Now, he has 2 remaining limbs that he can start to use quite a bit to become a problem. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to use my off balances, my tilts, to just ask a question. I'm not saying that Frank has to post. I'm just saying that if he doesn't, he's going to fall. So I basically go to myself, hey, Frank, I'm going to rock you to my left, your right. Would you like to post? Dang it. Okay, well, let me put him back there. Let's try it again. He said yes again. Let me try one more time. He said yes again. Let me grab that, and rather than trying to rip it off the ground, while it's heavy, I'm just going to cover it, and then I'm going to tilt him back to where it's not heavy. So I'm not trying to grab his arm and pull it in while all of his weight is on it, which is awkward. I'm simply going to cover it with my left hand, bring him back to where we were, and now prevent him from using it again. And if you notice, guys, when I'm scoring or when I'm trying to sweep, I'll move my shin to try to bump him behind the armpit, which again, it's just hitting the pocket of his body, and I'm trying to encourage Frank to touch. But when it comes to actually moving him in the position, my right leg is not necessary here. This guy is he's secondary. He's for momentum, for bumping Frank behind the arm, behind the back if I need to move him, and for putting my foot on the ground to reposition myself in space. So it doesn't really have anything to do with the integrity of the position, which is why I can use this freely. When it comes to, the integrity of the position, my right arm being up high, my left arm being hooked under Frank's ankle, gripping my own knee, and also my left knee, creating compression towards my chest here, and preventing him from leaning into my space. That's really what creates the waiter. So I'm not going to alter that at all when I look to move him or when I look to collect a post. Now, same thing can happen over here. If I move Frank back, I'll touch his arm and then bring him back off of it. I can send him over my head. I'm like, ooh, give me that. And then I'll bring him back off of it. I'm not going to be able to hold forever. So the idea that I'm like gripping the crap out of Frank is not realistic. I'm simply covering his arms for long enough that I can try to dump him to his back. So not super complicated. All you're going to want to do again is get this person to touch. And then if you were to rip my arm off of the ground right now, I would definitely fall. However, it can be challenging once my weight settles in order for you to kind of rip this guy off the ground. So what I recommend you guys do, particularly in a spot like the waiter where you don't have a ton of heat on your ability to pull their arm off the ground, get them to touch, cover their arm, bring them back to center, and then dump them again, this time without the ability to post. If you can go through that process and you can simply just remember that, again, you're maintaining the integrity of the position with these 3 guys, this guy here is going to be your power, your adjuster, and also your swinging power. You're going to be able to convince the other person to post very consistently, collect their limbs, and then dump them straight to their back when they don't have the ability to stop.